she's not quite.
I'm here.
Oh, are you ready?
Size 14 bold font. I think I'm going to be okay.
Okay.
So I was up on the Charlottes, that's where I live, and my brother, they didn't know how to get a hold of me because we don't have a phone or internet. We live on an island in the middle of an inlet that's quite a ways away, so they called the cops, and the cops came out to my farm, and I saw them out the window. Oh, there's a cop boat, and I have a grow light in my downstairs. I'm a farmer, so we're just starting plants, nothing illegal or anything like that. But I ended up down here, and my daughter Chantel said, "Oh, someone's dead," and so we went down to the dock, and so this poor little cop, just a young guy, just really didn't know how to break the news to me about my mom, and so he told me about mom, and I felt really isolated from my family, and it took another week or so before I came down here to be with my brothers and my sisters-in-laws and all my family, and I kind of had to write something down to sort of deal with my grief of the moment, and so I've written it down. It's really not my style to write stuff, but I have written something down because I'll probably forget everything I wrote if I don't read it. So I'm sorry I'm reading notes because I think that's really tacky. But anyway, so it's a bit about my mom. My mom, Fran, lived a long life full of challenges, disappointments, adventures, and dreams. I think that we all leave a certain legacy when we depart, and Mom's legacy was in her relationships. She was mom to a lot of people. Lots of friends of us kids either lived at Mom's house at one time or another, or were deeply connected to her for other reasons. Doug's friend Gary Collecta, for instance, claims she saved his life when she booted him and Doug out of Penticton when they were teens, giving them a couple of frying pans and advice to go get a job. My friends Anne and Joan spent many wonderful hours in the kitchen on Frome Road drinking tea, always with Mom right in the thick of it. Greg had plenty of friends that practically lived at our place. The fridge was always open and everyone just felt welcome and comfortable to make themselves at home. We had tons of boarders over the years too. Debbie, one of Mom's favorite waitresses, lived with us for a while. There was Glenn, Teresa, even one of my old boyfriends ended up living in Mom's basement. I was long gone. According to Mom, she was one of the smartest kids in her school, which was a one-room schoolhouse at Blue Springs. I definitely got the impression that she thought that if she wasn't the smartest kid in her school, she certainly was the smartest of her four siblings, Joe, Mary, Harry, and Dorothy. I think Mom felt frustrated and unrecognized for her intellectual and academic abilities as the middle child of 5. She would have loved to go further than grade 9, that was offered at her local school, but as she said, Grandpa didn't think higher education was necessary for girls. Mom read a lot. I'm sure everyone in this room can recall quotes she made from some mysterious source in the heat of a debate. My mom loved to debate. I think debating to her was pure blood sport. She would get excited, with voice raised, thumping the table for emphasis. It was her idea of a really good time. Although my brother Jim might beg to differ with me on this one, I do think that I argued with her the most. For literally decades, we parried arguments for and against the nutritional value of white bread. You can probably guess what side the debate my mom was on. These debates would often get fairly heated as I desperately tried to defeat an opponent who was often willing to resort to quoting non-existent medical journals to make her point. As a testament to Mom's stubbornness, she seemed to defy all laws of natural physics by thriving on a diet of coffee, cigarettes, white bread, and cold cuts. For decades, she seemed timeless, never aging or losing her enthusiasm for life. Her energy and spunk, her sharp mind, and bombastic character made it seem like she'd never die. Mom was one of the most generous people I've ever known. She supported all of us kids at one time or another during hard times, sometimes financially, often just by being there and refraining from judgment. She came out to our farm on Haida Gwaii every year for about 10 years, spending about 5 weeks at a time with us over the summer. In the first year, she had to stay in a tent using an outhouse. She loved to brag about roughing it on the Charlottes at 75 years of age. She helped me with the kids and was there when I gave birth to Chantel on the farm. During the labor, I remember seeing a look of utter helplessness on her face. Thankfully, my friend Marnie kept her busy boiling water. I always wondered why the husbands were sent to boil water during their wives' labor. Now I realize it's just to keep them occupied. Mom hauled water, cooked, gardened, took care of my family, and even picked roots in our newly cleared fields. And if you know how much she hated picking rocks for Grandpa on his farm, you'd know what an act of love that was. She even bought me a washing machine to wash diapers, which we ran with a generator. Mom had an adventurous spirit. She left the prairies at 18 and headed for the coast. I remember her talking of her trip through the Rocky Mountains and how spectacular the mountains were. She told me that she would have loved to trek through the mountains on horseback. Mom worked for Dominion Bridge in an ammunition factory during the Second World War. She told me that the women did the rough machining work and the men did the more precise finishing work. One day the foreman asked her to do a special task on one of the finishing machines. Mom was one of the more capable machinists, and she was singled out to see if women were capable of doing finishing work. She said they gave her a precise and difficult task and then asked her to do it with her foreman and a bunch of managers breathing down her neck. She succeeded in doing the task and proved to the men that women were indeed capable of doing precise machining work. From then on, women worked on the finishing floor. Mom was earning good wages and loved being a machinist, but she lost her job to the men when they returned from the war. The woman I knew as I was growing up was not the young adventurer or the skilled machinist, but a struggling single mother who was determined to raise her family on her own terms. She worked hard at demanding cooking jobs during the week and then came home to care for us, do laundry, and maintain our house. I remember Mom's exhaustion when she was running Fran's Cafe on Lonsdale. She was working 12-hour days, 6 days a week, and then there was the family on top of it all. She did her best to provide for us, and I never felt that we were lacking in anything. She modeled for us the ethics of hard work, perseverance, thrift, and independence. She once admitted to me that she never really was that crazy about cooking. It was kind of default career for her, something she did well and paid the bills with. I think that she would have loved to be an archaeologist, and she always followed this interest in her reading and her travels. Mom lived and died on her own terms. She was not afraid of death, and more than once she told me that I should run her off the dock if she ever gets incapacitated. Luckily for Mom, she did manage to escape the clutches of the medical system and regain her independence after her stroke last year. She died alone in her apartment on April the 6th. When I heard of her death, I felt sad at first that she died alone and that I hadn't been there to comfort her and care for her. As I reflected, though, I realized that she had it her way. She did not want us hovering and doting on her, and she faced death the way she wanted it, unencumbered by us. I have watched people die, and I think it's our final, most liberating act. When my husband's mother, Verna, died, her spirit filled the room. Her life energy could be felt. As a person walking this earth, her material person was small, sometimes petty, and caught up with the baggage of day-to-day life. But when she left her physical form, she became what we all really are, an infinite, all-knowing, and wise energy force that is connected to the whole. Ever since witnessing Verna's death, I felt like death is our friend. It relieves us of our physical discomfort and limitations. Quite frankly, it gives us something pleasant to look forward to. I know Mom's in a good place and that her spirit is free now, and I'm so happy I got to walk with her for a ways on our journey. Thanks, Mom.